Let's speak about players. One of the players who was involved against Walsall, Anthony Hartigan, had to come off with a presumed shoulder injury. What's the latest with Anthony?
We dislocated his shoulder again, which is the second time following the one at Grimsby. He's been playing in a sort of harness, which has been protecting it, but it was just so innocuous. He just sort of put his left hand up and it sort of jarred it out. So he's seeing a specialist on Saturday, I believe. We'll know a bit more as to what's going to happen. It's likely that it will need an operation now, get it fully repaired, which will be, well, we don't know, 2-3 months. Might rule him out for the rest of the season, we'll see.
That's a real blow.
Yeah, it is for him, because he's just sort of, he never really got back. Before the first one, I thought he was just really settling in, and then he did his shoulder at Grimsby, and not quite really got back to those standards he had before that, but he was getting there, and now he's had this setback again.
Might he have to be replaced, given what you've just said?
No, I think with George Maris and Kieran Wallace, it'll be a week or so, we hope. Then we've got two people who play in that position anyway.
Let's continue to speak about players. Elliot Hewitt was ill. Is he better now?
Yeah, well, as you know, these bugs that are going around at the moment aren't too pleasant. So he's had a few days, and we hope he's back in training this week and ready for Saturday.
You said Ollie Clark's got no chance for this weekend.
No, he's had a scan. He's going to be a good few weeks.
Riley Harbottle?
The same. We think 3 or 4 weeks from this point. Just depends how he heals and how his rehab goes. But certainly ruling him out of Saturday.
Lucas Akins and Kieran Wallace sidelined with ankle problems.
Yeah, both similar. Although one was a kick and one was a twist. We think they're going to be a similar sort of time. They've got an outside chance for Saturday, but more likely for Crewe.
I don't think James Gale was in the squad. Is he unwell? Is he injured?
No, he's injured. He's got sort of problems with his shins at the moment, sort of shin splints or something like that, discomfort. And we think he'll be about a month, something like that.
How are you going about managing this squad at the moment? Because you're ravaged by illness and injury.
Yeah, well, you see the optimism we get from the performance we put on Saturday, despite having, I think there was 8 missing once Anthony came off after half an hour. We're still capable of putting a performance on. That's the strength of the squad. And everybody's got to do their part. And when Jason Law comes on and puts a couple of crosses in and things like that, it's people like Jason. Taylor Anderson was on the bench from the academy. So it's just everybody will just play a small part. But that's what you have the squad for at the start of the season, for these sort of contingencies.
I think you said a couple of weeks ago talks had opened with George Lapsley with the prospect of a new contract or an extended contract. How are those negotiations going?
They're ongoing at the moment. I don't think it looks too favourable at the moment, but they're ongoing.
Could you put a bit more flesh on the bones with that?
No, that's all there is to say about it, really.
What about in terms of transfers? You said the other day that things might warm up in perhaps the next week or two. Is that still the case today?
Yeah, I think with the FA Cup, it tends to be after the FA Cup weekend because a lot of sort of teams include players, in the squads and everything. But we've made inquiries for 3 players that we're just waiting on decisions, but it'll be after the weekend.
The only other player I think we perhaps require an update on is Lewis Page, because his contract officially ended a couple of weeks back now.
Yeah, the club aren't going to renew it while he's still injured. So we'll see if he gets fit and see what happens in January with him.